Your mind is your greatest power. Control it before it controls you. You are not trapped. You are being controlled. By your habits. By your fears. By your excuses. By the thoughts you repeat every day. And if you do not take control of your mind will take control of your life. You can blame the economy. You can blame your boss. You can blame your past. You can blame your family. You can blame bad luck. But none of those things can build your future for you. Nobody is coming. Read that again in your mind. Nobody is coming. Nobody is coming to force you to get disciplined. Nobody is coming to make you wake up early. Nobody is coming to make you stop wasting your time. Nobody is coming to repair the years you have already lost. The responsibility is yours. And that is not bad news. That is power. Because the moment you accept responsibility for your life, you stop being a passenger. You become the driver. Maybe you are tired. You work all day, come home exhausted, pay the bills, handle the responsibilities, stare at your phone, go to sleep, and wake up to do it all again. Months disappear. Then years. You tell yourself, I'll start when things get better. When I make more money. When work gets easier. When the kids are older. When I have more time. When I feel motivated. But look at the calendar. How long have you been saying that? 6 months? 2 years? 10 years? That is the danger. Your life does not collapse in one dramatic moment. It leaks away through ordinary days. One wasted morning. One unnecessary hour. One broken promise to yourself. One excuse. Then another. Then another. Until you look up and realize that the person you wanted to become is still waiting for you. And here is the truth you may not want to hear. Your circumstances are not always the problem. Sometimes your thinking is. You have trained your mind to expect difficulty. You have trained yourself to quit when progress becomes uncomfortable. You have trained yourself to seek entertainment before achievement. You have trained yourself to complain before taking action. And what you repeatedly practice becomes your identity. If you constantly tell yourself, I can't, your brain starts searching for evidence that you are right. If you repeatedly say, I'm too old, you start behaving like your age is a prison. If you say, I don't have enough money, you stop looking for opportunities that require effort. If you say, I failed, you turn an event into an identity. You did not fail as a human being. You failed at something. There is a difference. A powerful mind understands that failure is information. It asks, what went wrong? What did I miss? What must I learn? What will I do differently tomorrow? A weak mind asks, why does this always happen to me? That question produces nothing. A disciplined mind asks, what am I going to do about it? That question changes everything. You need to understand something. Your mind does not care about your dreams. Your mind cares about repetition. If you repeatedly choose comfort, your mind becomes comfortable with weakness. If you repeatedly choose discipline, your mind becomes comfortable with effort. If you repeatedly keep promises to yourself, you begin to trust yourself. And self-trust is one of the most powerful forces you can build. Think about it. Every time you tell yourself you are going to do something and then don't do it, you make a withdrawal from your own confidence. You say you'll exercise. You don't. You'll save money. You don't. You'll finish the project. You don't. You'll wake up early. You hit snooze. Each decision seems small. But your mind is watching. It is learning. It is forming an opinion about you. So start changing that opinion. Not tomorrow. Today. Here is your first mental exercise. Tonight, sit alone for 5 minutes. No television. No music. No phone. Ask yourself 3 questions. What am I tolerating that I should be changing? What habit is stealing the most from my future? What is one action I know I must take but keep avoiding? Do not write what sounds impressive. Write the truth. Because you cannot conquer a problem you refuse to name. Then choose one thing. Not 20. One. And attack it. This is where your transformation begins. Not with a motivational quote. Not with a perfect plan. With a decision. A decision followed by action. You do not need to feel ready. You need to become willing. Willing to be uncomfortable. Willing to work when nobody applauds. Willing to continue when progress is invisible. Willing to do the boring work. Because success is rarely hiding inside the exciting moments. It is hiding inside repetition. The alarm rings. You get up. You work. You learn. You fail. You adjust. You continue. You do it again. And again. And again. That is how ordinary people become extraordinary. Not through magic. Through accumulation. One disciplined decision becomes a disciplined day. One disciplined day becomes a disciplined week. One disciplined week becomes a disciplined year. And eventually, your life begins to look completely different. You want to know what separates the person who succeeds from the person who keeps talking about success? Execution. The person who succeeds does not necessarily have fewer problems. They simply stop negotiating with every problem. They understand that difficulty is part of the price. Imagine a man in his 40s who has spent 20 years at the same job. He once had an idea for a business. He talked about it constantly. He told his friends what he would build. He watched videos about entrepreneurship. He researched the market. He planned. But he never started. Why? Fear. Fear of losing money. Fear of looking foolish. Fear of failure. Then one day, someone else builds a similar business. That person succeeds. And suddenly the man realizes something painful. The opportunity did not disappear. His courage did. That kind of regret is expensive. Do not wait until your opportunity becomes someone else's achievement. Do not wait until your body forces you to change. Do not wait until your financial situation becomes a crisis. Do not wait until the people around you lose respect for your promises. Do not wait. Your future is being created by what you do today. And nobody is coming. You must become the person you have been waiting for. You want confidence? Stop asking for confidence. Build evidence. Keep one promise to yourself today. Then another tomorrow. Then another. Confidence is not something you sit around hoping to feel. Confidence is the memory of keeping your word. You want discipline? Stop waiting to feel disciplined. Practice discipline. Put the phone away. Finish the task. Take the walk. Read the book. Make the call. Do the work. Especially when you don't feel like it. That is the moment that matters. Anybody can act when motivation is high. The test comes when motivation disappears. When nobody is watching. When the results are slow. When the excitement is gone. That is where character is built. Your mind will try to negotiate. Just 5 more minutes. Start Monday. You deserve a break. You can do it tomorrow. Listen carefully. Your mind will often offer you a comfortable excuse disguised as reasonable advice. You must learn to recognize it. When the excuse appears, answer with action. Not debate. Action. Because the more you debate with weakness, the stronger weakness becomes. Here is your second mental exercise. For the next 7 days, whenever you catch yourself saying, "I can't," replace it with, "What can I do?" Not, "Can I do everything?" Not, "Will it be easy?" Ask, "What can I do next?" That question forces your mind away from helplessness and toward responsibility. Lost your job? What can you do next? Business failed? What can you learn next? Debt is overwhelming? What expense can you cut next? You made a terrible decision? What can you repair next? You wasted years? What can you build next? You cannot rewrite yesterday. But you can stop donating tomorrow to yesterday. Your past is a teacher. It is not your master. You must stop carrying old failures into new opportunities. You are not required to remain the person you were 5 years ago. You can change. But change requires proof. And proof requires action. This is where identity becomes important. Stop saying, "I'm trying to become disciplined." Start behaving like a disciplined person. Stop saying, "I'm trying to become successful." Start behaving like someone who takes responsibility for results. Stop saying, "I want to become mentally strong." Start doing difficult things without running away. Your identity follows your behavior. You do not become strong by declaring yourself strong. You become strong by repeatedly doing what strength requires. And strength requires sacrifice. You may have to sacrifice late nights. You may have to sacrifice pointless arguments. You may have to sacrifice some entertainment. You may have to sacrifice approval. You may even have to disappoint people who preferred the old version of you. Let them. Your life is not a democracy where everyone gets a vote. You are responsible for the direction. If your goal matters, protect it. If your future matters, schedule it. If your family matters, become stronger for them. If your freedom matters, work for it. And if your time matters, stop giving it away. You have a limited number of mornings left. You do not know how many. That should not frighten you. It should wake you up. Every morning is an account. You receive 24 hours. At midnight, the account closes. Unused time does not roll over. You cannot save today's hour for next year. So stop treating time like it is unlimited. The clock does not care about your excuses. It does not care about your intentions. It moves. You must move with it. And persistence matters because most people quit too early. They work for 30 days and expect a new life. They exercise for 2 weeks and expect a new body. They start a business and expect immediate profit. They study for a month and expect mastery. Then difficulty arrives. They quit. But difficulty was not evidence that the plan failed. Difficulty was the test. You cannot plant a seed today and scream at the ground tomorrow because there is no tree. Work requires time. Growth requires repetition. Success requires patience combined with action. Not passive waiting. Active persistence. There is a difference. You do not sit around hoping. You keep moving. You make adjustments. You learn. You continue. You become harder to stop. And eventually, something changes. The person who once doubted you begins asking how you did it. The people who ignored you start paying attention. But by then, you are no longer working for their approval. You have become focused on something greater. Mastery. Freedom. Purpose. Control. You have learned the most important lesson. You cannot always control what happens to you, but you can control what happens next. That is where your power lives. Not in the past. Not in other people's opinions. Not in perfect circumstances. In your response. Someone insults you. Control your response. A deal falls apart. Control your response. You lose money. Control your response. You experience rejection. Control your response. You wake up tired. Control your response. Your emotions are real. But they do not have to be your commander. You can feel fear and still act. You can feel doubt and still act. You can feel tired and still do what must be done. That is mental toughness. Not the absence of emotion. The ability to act despite emotion. And this brings you to the final mental exercise. Every morning, before you touch your phone, state one command to yourself. Today, I will do what must be done. Not what is easy. Not what is comfortable. Not what other people expect. What must be done. Then identify your single most important task. Do it before you allow distractions to consume your attention. Protect the first part of your day. Because if you give your mind to the world before you give it direction, the world will decide what your mind focuses on. Notifications. News. Arguments. Entertainment. Other people's priorities. You wake up with a mission and end the day reacting to everyone else's. Stop. Take back control. Your attention is an asset. Treat it like money. Do not hand it to strangers for free. Do not spend it on endless scrolling. Do not waste it comparing your life to somebody else's highlight reel. Build. Learn. Work. Think. Execute. Now listen to me carefully. You may be closer than you think. But closer does not mean finished. You still have work to do. There are decisions you have been avoiding. Conversations you need to have. Habits you need to destroy. Skills you need to learn. Debts you need to confront. Goals you need to pursue. And perhaps most importantly, there is a version of you that must disappear. The version that keeps making excuses. The version that says tomorrow. The version that needs permission. The version that blames everyone else. The version that quits when things become difficult. That version cannot lead your future. You must replace it. Not with words. With behavior. Today. One decision. One action. One promise kept. Then another. Then another. You do not need to change your entire life before sunset. You need to prove to yourself that you are capable of changing direction. That is enough for today. Tomorrow, prove it again. This is how you rebuild yourself. Brick by brick. Decision by decision. Day by day. And one day you will look back at the person you used to be and realize. You were not powerless. You were undisciplined. You were distracted. You were afraid. You were waiting. But you stopped waiting. You took responsibility. You took control. And everything changed. So what are you waiting for? Another year? Another excuse? Another Monday? Another sign? Here is your sign. Move. Get up. Write the goal. Make the call. Start the business. Apply for the job. Learn the skill. Pay the debt. Fix the habit. Have the conversation. Take the first step. Then take another. You do not need permission. You do not need applause. You do not need everyone to believe in you. You need to believe enough to act. And when your mind tells you that it is too hard, remember. Hard is not a stop sign. When fear tells you to wait, remember. Waiting has a price. When failure tells you to quit, remember. Failure is an event, not an identity. When doubt tells you that you cannot, ask, what can I do next? And when you are tempted to blame someone else, remember. Responsibility is power. Nobody is coming. Nobody is coming to save your time. Nobody is coming to build your discipline. Nobody is coming to make your decisions. Nobody is coming to live your life. Nobody is coming. And that means you are free. Free to decide. Free to act. Free to rebuild. Free to become dangerous to your old habits. Free to become the person your future demands. Your mind is your greatest power. But power without control becomes destruction. Control your thoughts. Control your attention. Control your habits. Control your reactions. Control your actions. Control your direction. And eventually, you will control the course of your life. Do not finish this message inspired. Finish it committed. There is a difference. Inspiration fades. Commitment moves. So when this video ends, do not immediately scroll to another video. Do something. Take 5 minutes. Write down the one thing you have been avoiding. Then take the first step. Send the email. Make the call. Open the book. Create the plan. Turn off the distraction. Start. Because your future does not need another promise. It needs evidence. Give it evidence today. And tomorrow, give it more. You have spent enough time thinking about the person you could become. Now become that person. The clock is moving. Your life is moving. The opportunity is moving. Move with it. Take control of your mind before your mind controls you. Take responsibility for your life before regret becomes your teacher. Take action before another year disappears. Nobody is coming. So stand up. Take command. And begin. Stop waiting. Stop making excuses. Take control of your mind. Take responsibility for your life. Take action today. Your future is waiting for your decision. Make the decision now. If this message spoke to you today, I want you to take a moment and remember something. You are not finished. No matter how many mistakes you have made, how many opportunities you have missed, or how many years you feel have slipped away, there is still something within you that can rise again. Maybe one part of this message reminded you of a dream you once had. Maybe it touched a place in your heart that you had forgotten. Maybe it gave you the courage to believe that your best chapter has not yet been written. If that is how you feel right now, do not let this message end with the video. Let it begin with you. Take one idea from what you heard today and put it into action. Make one decision. Change one habit. Take one step. Because knowledge means very little until you use it. And if this video genuinely touched your heart, gave you hope, strengthened your mind, or reminded you that you are capable of becoming more, please support this message. Take a moment to like this video. Thumbs up. And don't keep this message to yourself. Share it with a friend, a family member, or someone who may be struggling, losing hope, or simply waiting for the right moment to change their life. Sometimes, one message reaches a person at exactly the moment they need it. Your simple like and share can help this message reach someone who may be sitting alone tonight, wondering if they still have what it takes to begin again. You never know whose life you may touch. So if you believe in the message, help us spread it. Like this video. Share it with someone you care about. And leave a comment telling me, what is the one change you are going to make starting today? Remember, your future is not created someday. It is created by what you decide to do today. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being part of this journey toward greater purpose, discipline, courage, and success. Please like and share this message.